Balancing ISF Data Confidentiality, Government Access. Welcome back to our Customs Brokerage 101 series. In today's episode, we will be discussing ISF Data Confidentiality and Government Access. ISF, or Importer Security Filing, involves the submission of detailed information about imported goods to customs authorities. Importers and customs brokers often have concerns about the confidentiality of this data and government access to it. So, let's dive into the topic and address these important considerations. Data confidentiality is a critical aspect of ISF submission. Importers might worry about the sensitive nature of the information provided and whether it remains confidential. Let's look at the safeguards in place to protect the confidentiality of ISF data. Confidentiality Safeguard 1. Customs Confidentiality Regulations. Customs authorities have regulations in place to ensure the confidentiality of the information provided in the ISF. These regulations restrict the disclosure of trade-related information to unauthorized parties. Customs officers and personnel are required to adhere to strict confidentiality rules to protect the confidentiality of ISF data. Confidentiality Safeguard 2. Access Controls and Encryption. Customs authorities implement access controls and encryption methods to safeguard ISF data. These measures restrict unauthorized access to the data and protect it from potential breaches. By utilizing secure systems and encryption protocols, Customs ensures that only authorized individuals have access to the ISF data. Confidentiality Safeguard 3. Non-disclosure agreements. Importers and customs brokers often enter into non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, with customs authorities or service providers. These agreements further protect the confidentiality of ISF data by legally obligating the parties involved to keep the information confidential. NDAs provide an additional layer of assurance to importers that their sensitive information will remain secure. Confidentiality Safeguard 4. Limited data retention. Customs authorities typically have specific data retention policies in place, determining how long they retain the ISF data. These policies often align with legal requirements and are designed to minimize the storage time of sensitive information. Importers can review these policies to understand how long customs authorities retain their ISF data. While data confidentiality is crucial, it's also important to understand government access to ISF data for legitimate purposes, such as customs enforcement and national security. Let's explore the guidelines surrounding government access to ISF data. Government Access Guideline 1. Customs Enforcement. Customs authorities have the right to access ISF data for customs enforcement purposes. This includes verifying the accuracy of the information provided, conducting risk assessments, and ensuring compliance with customs regulations. Customs officers and authorized personnel are granted access to ISF data as part of their duties. Government Access Guideline 2. National Security. Government agencies responsible for national security may access ISF data when it relates to national security concerns. This allows them to assess potential security risks associated with imported goods. Access to ISF data for national security purposes is carefully regulated and strictly controlled, with the aim of ensuring the safety and security of the country. Government Access Guideline 3. Legal Requirements. Government access to ISF data is subject to legal requirements and limitations. Access must be within the boundaries defined by applicable laws, regulations, and protocols. These legal requirements provide a framework for authorized government agencies to access ISF data in a manner that respects privacy and protects against unauthorized use. It's important to note that while customs authorities and government agencies have legitimate access to ISF data, this access is generally limited to what is necessary for customs enforcement, risk assessment, and national security purposes. That concludes our discussion on ISF data confidentiality and government access. We hope you found this information helpful and informative. Join us in our upcoming videos as we continue to explore various aspects of customs brokerage and international trade. Thank you for watching and see you next time.